Chapter 5. The Prince and the Painted Lion. Long time ago, there was a king. He was selfish. He just thought for himself and his family. He did not care for the people of his kingdom. He had a big palace with a very big garden. There were many fruit trees in his garden, which were always laden with fruits. One day, a few poor children of his kingdom went to his garden to pick up the fruits that had fallen on the ground. They were caught by the guards and brought before the king. The king asked the children, "How dare you enter the royal garden and steal fruits?" The poor children said, "Your Majesty, we have just picked those fruits which had fallen on the ground. We have not plucked any fruit from the trees." The king asked his guards to take away all the fruits from the children. He then warned the poor children never to enter his garden and allowed them to go away. The king had only one son. He loved his son more than anything else in the world. One night, the king had a dream. He saw in his dream that a lion had killed his son. He woke up immediately and was worried and scared at having seen such a terrible dream. He could not sleep the whole night after that. Afraid that the dream should prove to be true, the king built a secure palace for his son. It had high walls on all sides. The king knew that his son was fond of adventure, so he adorned the walls of the palace with life-size pictures of animals and other objects of nature. The prince was never allowed to go out of this palace. Whatever he wanted was provided to him within the palace premises. He was guarded round the clock by heavily armed soldiers. His friends also stayed with him in the palace. Fed up with his confinement, the prince was very agitated. One day, he stood in front of the lion's painting on the wall and shouted at it in anger. "It is only because of you, devil lion, that I am locked up in this palace. Now, why don't you have the guts to come out of this painting and kill me? I know you cannot, but you have made my life really miserable." In a fit of rage, he even broke a branch of a nearby tree to beat the lion. Unfortunately, a thorn of the tree pierced the prince's finger. It caused great pain, and his finger swelled. A high fever set in. Upon hearing all this, the king was very much worried. He called the best doctors of his kingdom and offered them as much money as they wanted for the proper treatment of his beloved child. The doctor tried their level best to provide the best available treatment to the child, but the fever grew higher and higher. The inflammation of the finger, too, did not become less and normal. In spite of their best efforts, the doctors could not save the prince. He died after a few days.
A. Put a tick on the correct option.